presentation.
Fussy, who hired this crew?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
Show me the money!
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I thought this was good.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
This movie walked so a lot of neo-noirs could confidently strut. We're talking about Bound tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to 52/1996, your live movie conversation podcast, where we take back the clock. We dig into the films of 1996 because it's been 30 years, and we do it one movie at a time. I'm your host, Cody, and this week, as I will be joined by him every week as we conquer this sexy, sexy month of February, is my wonderful friend, Steven, as we break down the movie Bound. Welcome in, Steven. You sexy, sexy man here. If this is your first time hanging out, welcome. We are glad that you are here. If you like what we're doing, feel free to follow us on all of the platforms that you can. But our idea is pretty simple here. Every week for 52 weeks, we revisit a different movie from the year 1996. We're talking legacy, vibes, performances, trivia, and sometimes whether or not this movie still holds up today. Sometimes it makes us cringe, and sometimes we love it a lot. And we're like, hey, this movie could come out now. But this season, we are doing them by themes, and I've been having the same guest on for each theme, and I kind of like the way that this is going. We have a theme going right now. Usually we do like a February, like love. We've got, love month. Valentine's Day is coming up this weekend. But I did a little twist on it this month. So the theme this month is I'll Have What She's Having, spotlighting 1996 movies about sex and the complications around that. But before we jump into that, let's talk Steven. Steven, have you ever seen Bound? Have you ever heard of Bound?
I had never seen or heard of Bound before watching it. Never, we've talked about a lot of movies that came to me in college through friends and stuff like that. This one, first time I ever heard of it was when we were talking sex month.
Yeah. And honestly, this is the, this whole month is a month of firsts for me, which is a kind of a rarity. I've usually seen a lot of the movies that we've talked about. There's always some surprises that I go through. But yeah, this one's new to me too. And I was dead wrong about what this movie was about when I was describing it to you. Dead wrong.
Well, and I think after last week, you watch a movie called Crash, they get aroused by car accidents. You watch a movie called Bound, and you're like, all right, give me this 50 Shades of Grey bullshit. Here we go.
Seriously.
Not that.
Not that at all. I mean, there is some binding in this, but it's not sexual in any way. Threw me off completely. I had this pegged as like almost like Crash. Like this was gonna be something freaky and like some crazy plot. Yeah, bondage. Lesbian relationships, which is not probably a common thing that we've talked about on the show. Zero BDSM in this movie. Barely any sex, to be honest with you. We get a little bit, but not much.
But still sexy.
Very sexy.
But still, very little sex, still sexy.
And that is one thing that I appreciate in a movie, is one that can deliver on sex in a way that is not like gratuitous, I would say.
Well, and not to jump to a completely different topic, but similar, I feel the same way about SA in movies, where it's like, I think there is a almost artistic creative way to present this versus just here you go. The Brutalist
understand,
comes to mind.
I understand
Brutalist
what you're
comes to mind,
saying.
where I
with
think
that,
there
yeah.
are tasteful ways to do consensual sex and non-consensual sex in a movie. For me, it's always off-putting when it's over the top. Crash was a great example of that. The Brutalist is another example where I thought The Brutalist was an excellent movie, and the sexual assault in it was so graphic that it took it down a notch for me, because I didn't think it was. I think it could have been done in a more tasteful way.
Yeah, I think if you're taking away from the plot or just showing something for shock value or something like that, then-
HBO style.
yeah, a lot of that. And I honestly, I was like, man, this is going to be a real sexy month. And I mean, like you were saying, this is a very sexy movie. And there's not a lot, like you said, not a lot of sex in this, but there's just the way that things are talked about. There are moments on screen that are very suggestive in their nature. Yeah. We'll talk about some of that as well. So let's learn a little bit more about it before we get into our categories that'll kind of push us through the movie. The name of the movie is Bound. It actually came out the same week that Crash came out in Canada. So,
ooh,
yeah.
Big week for Canada.
Yeah, big week for Canada. This movie was directed by the Wachowskis. It was also written by the Wachowskis. You might know them best for their work, a little old movie that probably changed the way that movies are made to this day, called The Matrix. Ever heard of it? Ever heard of it? Basically, yeah. This is kind of like their first movie. So we could have added this in another month that we're going to do later this year. But this movie is very contained. It has a very small cast. It really takes place in 2 rooms in an apartment building. But the cast includes Gina Gershon, whom we last saw, you and I last saw in Showgirls. She plays one of our main characters, Corky. Jennifer Tilly, we last saw her in Bullets Over Broadway. She plays Violet. Joey Pants himself, Joe Pantoliano, as Caesar. John P. Ryan as Mickey Malnado. Christopher Maloney, most famous for SVU, as Johnny Marzoni. And then Richard C. Serafian probably, as Gino Marzoni. The synopsis for this movie, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, sparks fly when Violet sets eyes on Corky in an elevator. Violet is the girlfriend of a violent gangster, Caesar, while Corky is fresh out of prison and doing renovations on the apartment next door. As the 2 women launch into a passionate love affair, they assemble an intricate plan for Violet to escape from Caesar with $2 million of the mob's money. But the important part is to make it out alive. Now, this movie had a budget of $6 million, pretty small budget. Like I said, it was filmed at 2 rooms. Box office return, not quite as good as Crash, even. $7 million. So
Crash made more money?
Crash made more money than this movie.
In Canada, right?
No, worldwide. When it eventually came out, it made more money. This movie only made $7 million, which is crazy. This movie does have a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Crash, though. It has an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, an IMDb score of 7.3 out of 10, and Letterboxd has this at a 4 out of 5. Roger Ebert loved this movie. He liked it more than Crash, even. He gave it 4 out of 4 stars. He said, Bound is shocking and violent and will offend some audiences. It's that kind of movie, but it's skillful filmmaking, setting a puzzle that involves time, space, money, and danger, and seeing how many different ways it can be solved. Now, not everybody loved this movie, but I did struggle to find like really bad reviews of it. Todd McCarthy of Variety said that Gershon and Tilly are initially intriguing, but can't sustain interest in their superficially conceived roles. They share one passionate scene, which is covered in a single take. Most of the other perfs are over the top to varying degrees. Behind the scenes personnel capably delivered what was asked, which was far too much for the material. I don't necessarily agree with all of that. This movie was really no real awards or anything. It was recognized by the GLAAD Awards, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance, their awards that they give out. This has kind of turned into a cult classic over the years. It is considered like one of the best lesbian movies to show a lesbian relationship in a movie, and it's not completely all about that. It's just like, here's a romance in the middle of this crime caper movie that was done with tact and professionalism and things that you don't often see, especially in 1996. So
things that were missing from Crash. No,
yeah. And I think Crash could have learned a thing or two from the way that the Wachowskis made this movie, especially on a shoestring budget. But they were very careful and considerate when making this movie with some help from their friends. And we'll get into some of that when we talk about like fun facts and things.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this movie. Let's get into it. Let's start with our favorite scenes. What scenes pop or really define the movie?
My first scene completely disagrees with that negative review. Because my first scene is like titled "Electricity in the Elevator." Because man, I feel like I don't know if it's their lips. Both of them have great lips. There's just a lot
I
of
agree. I think
close-up lip shots, and then they both have big, voluptuous lips. And
I mean, that's the best way to describe them. Yeah.
Almost to me, that first scene of them meeting together is like maybe one of the sexier things. Like you can just tell they're feeling each other.
Yeah.
I thought that's my first scene because I feel like that's the setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the setup for this very queer-centered film. Is like she's with a guy, obviously, but she gets in the elevator and from the jump, it's like, oh yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah, and like as the viewer, I agree with you. This is the first thing I'd written down too. As a viewer, you're introduced to Corky, and you know little things about Corky. She's mask presenting. I don't know if she goes to the bar before or after she meets Violet in the elevator. I think she goes after. After the lesbian bar where she goes to pick up a woman there. But like you already get the vibe that Corky is very like cautious in that moment. Like she's attracted to Violet, and you know that they're looking each other up and down, but like Corky is very like cautious and is like, oh, this is a woman with a man. And us as the viewer, I think, are a little cautious too, because you're like, who is this girl playing? Like what game is this girl playing in here that she's in this elevator with her man and then looking me up and down? Like, is this a game? Is that like we're already guarded for Corky, I think. And I think that we also get brought into Corky is the main character of this movie. And I think that kind of switches halfway through. And we find out that I think Violet is our main character on the second half of this movie.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I also think that let's see, Jennifer Tilly, I am most familiar with her. I went and looked from Liar Liar.
Oh yes, yeah. Isn't she the one who's ending?
Yeah, I'm not like big into the Chucky movies, which is also where she struck gold for herself. And I don't remember ever watching Liar Liar and being like, "Oh, she's beautiful." You know, like she was great in Liar Liar, but man, she is gorgeous in this movie. The curly hair, the dresses she wears, like to me, that is so much of the sexiness is the duality of Corky and Violet.
Yeah. And Violet is interesting, like the way that she is presented, and Jennifer Tilly, like she can't fix her voice. She's got that like real breathy, like high-pitched voice.
Like it.
Oh, I think she's great. I think Jennifer Tilly's amazing. It's like a real life version of Betty Boop.
Yeah, and I feel like she was almost like there's a lot of beautiful women. To me, there in this context, there's something very sexy about her voice. Almost like a raspy Delilah. Delilah at late night.
I was getting ready.
There's just
Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. Not that one.
Not that
The
one.
radio host. But yeah, something. I mean, and even Gina, she to me is very not familiar with her, but she is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a stint. And man, there is just something kind of like powerful about her, like in the roles that she plays. Like, I feel like every role I've ever seen her in, I would be like intimidated by her.
Yeah,
A little bit.
It's so funny. She has such an interesting career, Gina Gershon does. Like I said, you and I did Showgirls, and she's kind of like the villain in Showgirls. She is a showgirl in this. But like before she even got into movies, I think she won a Tony. Like she was a Broadway person and and not playing these types of roles at all. And then like once she gets into movies, she kind of plays the same person. Like, not saying that she's not a talented actress. She's very good. I think she's great in this movie. Even in Showgirls, I think she's pretty great doing what was asked of her. But like, she just like makes her way into movies and starts playing these kind of like hard edge, like very pretty, beautiful women that are, like the kind of girl that goes up to the guy and just like grabs him by the balls and says like, I'm in charge here. Like that's the vibe she gives. I'm in charge.
Agreed. That's what I was trying. I feel like you just said what I said better.
Yeah, no, she's interesting. I want to like go through and see if I can find some like more Gina Gershon movies, and because she's great. She really is. She is fantastic. And she's so good as Corky in this.
Oh man. I feel like even the like work and renovation stuff, like even those scenes, like she seems like she knows what she seems like somebody who could fix my sink for sure.
And all that stuff is super sexy too. Like anything that she's doing, like the Wachowskis
like
are
even
very...
the fact that she has like grease or like dirt on her and stuff like that for most of the movie.
Yeah. She's just a dirty person. But like even when she's twisting the sink, like the pipe underneath the sink and helping it, it's like getting like water is spilling out over her hands. Like that's the kind of things that the Wachowskis are doing in this film that are like, okay, here's what this means. Like this is, usually whenever we're talking about sexually explicit movies or things like that, we're thinking of things that are phallic, hard and everything. But like the symbolism of wetness in this is because we are talking about two women that are falling for each other and attracted to each other. So like water is a thing that we see throughout this movie. There's
sat down and we're like, how do we make plumbing hot?
And it was super hot. Like you could just feel it. You're like, oh wow, this is getting good as Violet is just slowly seducing Corky to the point where she's like, what are we doing? And she's like, isn't it obvious? Like, I'm trying to seduce you.
That leads me to one of my favorite quotes. I'll go ahead and throw it in there.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, I'm apologizing. I'm not apologizing for what I did. I'm apologizing for what I didn't do.
It's good. That's good.
Man, talk about seduction.
I love, and I think it's around there. I think it is there where it is just a close up on their faces and their lips are like so close. Like that is sexy.
Oh yeah.
And I think of not to comparing it when we did, I think it was the first year we did this, Remains of the Day, a very non-sex film. Anthony Hopkins, Emma Thompson, like there's a scene where they are face to face, not kissing, not like touching, and it is one of the sexiest moments I've seen in film. And there's no nudity, no sex, no nothing. It's just, it's really good. But yeah, I agree with you. The seduction of Corky is how I presented it in my notes. So what else? What's your next scene?
I'm catching them on the chat. I'm just now seeing Spencer's. I like to bind. I like to be bound. I'm a 5-star man.
5-star man. A golden god.
Second scene is the let's see here. Get back to it. I believe the bathroom finger chopping. Shelley, like the Shelley moment.
Yeah.
You got one before that?
No, well, I don't think I do. I have that scene, but I have it for another one of my categories. So, but yeah, go for it. Yeah, the plot starts to take shape because we're talking about Caesar is in the mob, and I think he's laundering money for the mob, and Shelley is this guy who's helping him do that, but Shelley has $2 million that he's hidden from them, and they're asking him where it is. And it is a brutal scene where Christopher Maloney's character, Johnny, is just bashing this guy's head into the toilet.
I love that they give him the rag to put in his mouth, and he like wipes his head with it.
He said, "No, for his mouth. Put it in his mouth."
I do also like I'm going to ask you 10 questions.
Mm-hmm.
And pulling their fingers out and chopping each finger per the 10 times. I thought that was pretty good. But I think this is the scene that takes like we get introduced to Caesar before this. And you kind of get like a sketchy vibe from him, but this is the scene that like makes it clear that he's involved in the mob. He's got bosses, and this guy Shelley has apparently skimmed off the top.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty. I thought it was pretty cool, the shot where Corky's like kind of listening in the toilet, and it shoots to their toilet, and the blood drips.
Blood drips in, yeah.
I thought that was a really cool shot, and like for 1996, that pinky looked pretty real.
This movie looks great, I think.
Yeah, it does. No wonder they earned the right to make The Matrix. Even some of the shots, we'll talk about more of them later. I thought we're better than the movie. The way they were shot was to me better, like a standout, so good that there was I liked some of the shots more than I liked the movie as a whole.
Yeah, and there's fun facts surrounding that too. Like again, they did this with a shoestring budget, and they couldn't even afford the guy that they wanted to do the cinematography for it. So the guy, they're just that good with being like, hey, let's bring in these randos to do these shots for us. Here's what's in our head. Here's what we want it to look like. Yes, the white paint, I think, is a good thing to bring up. It's really pretty later.
Like hard to do too.
Yeah.
So,
Shelley and that setup, and then like we get that whole like we find out what Violet's doing, kind of like on the other side of the wall. Like
she's working.
That's not that's not sex, that's work. That's what she tells Corky.
I thought I might try that out on Natalia.
This is work.
It's not sex, it's work.
That's not. Let's see how far that goes.
I thought I might try that line out on her.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't think you might be working pretty hard for a while.
Might be picking up a second job after
that. What's your next scene? Do you have the sex scene down?
I didn't write that. I don't think let's see.
It's very short too, which is another thing for everybody that it's not work if you're doing it right.
I don't have it written down as one of my scenes because I stuck to 5 this time.
Yeah.
But man, I think of all the movies we've watched for 52, I wanted to stop here when we got here anyway.
Yeah.
I think just let's be dudes for a second.
Let's do
That
it
is
up.
the sexiest sex scene we have seen in any movie that we've watched for 52.
And isn't that interesting? Like, it is shot different than any sex scene that you would think of. And maybe it's because it's between two women.
Yeah.
But
That
the
could
way
be.
that they do this shot, if you didn't watch it, if you did watch it, you know what I'm talking about. But like, they just pan the camera alongside like her, like I think it's Corky's body, and Corky's, you just see the backside of Corky, and it just goes all the way down through her legs, and you know that she's using her hands to on Violet, and then the camera goes around and comes up the other way, and you don't see anything too graphic. You barely see their breasts or anything. It's very short, but it's very well done. And it's not
Completely
like
agree.
other sex scenes where you're doing it for the male gaze. I've heard a lot of this whenever I've been doing, like, I'll look into like essays, and I'll look for other podcasts that have discussed the movies. And some of the best ones that I heard was like, this was not shot for the male gaze. It was shot with actual intention around the female gaze. And that has to do with a person that is friends with the Wachowskis that they brought in, which is essentially like, this is 1996. It is very common now to have intimacy coordinators on film sets that are there, that are like, okay, this is how we want to have sex. Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Like, that are there to make sure no bad stuff happens. This is 30 years ago. And they had a woman come in who was a lesbian, who was like, here's how I think we should film this. And are the women okay? And like, it was kind of one of the first times that an intimacy coordinator was brought in, and it was brought in with intention. They were like, hey, we don't know anything about lesbian sex. How do we do this?
Let's not fake it.
Yeah, let's not fake it. And I think that it works. And that's why, and I think it lends to why it's such a good scene. It's very short.
My question, if you don't count, because it's not really a sex scene in True Lies when Jamie Lee Curtis is dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the movies you've watched for 52, is this number one sexiest sex scene? You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I think it was
Showgirls was ridiculous.
I think it's Crash. I think it's the
the end scene.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, I think it's the leg brace girl.
Which, man, your Instagram picture was so much better after watching the movie for Crash.
It's so good.
Oh, I went back and saw that and was like, oh, different now.
Yeah.
Now that I know.
It's different. No, I think you're right. This is one of the sexiest scenes that we've done. Sex scenes. I feel like Braveheart, when we talked about Braveheart, that like where they're coming up to meet each other. Again, that's not much of a sex scene. But like it is sexy, them in the mist and everything, the fog as they're coming together, as they're married. I think that one's good. No, this one's probably like, out of the true sex scenes that we've done, this is the best one. What do we got here? Oh yeah, El Mariachi sex scene. Now that one was for the male gaze, no lie.
True.
And the male straights, am I right?
For now, we'll see what Striptease does next week.
And we've got and we've got another one at the end of the month. So
I think to me this just takes the cake, and I think it's because of exactly what you just described. Is because it's maybe just for like the more realistic gaze too.
Yeah,
like not only the female gaze, but just doesn't seem ridiculous.
Yeah, I think because it was done with I think it was done with intention, that it makes it so much better. So
yeah, mission accomplished.
Good job. The Wachowskis are awesome. Good for them. Yeah. They did a great job. They did deserve the Matrix. They deserve
After that,
to be
they deserve
super
the
rich.
Matrix.
All right, what's your next scene? I know that one was kind of before your last one, but what's your next one?
My next one is, I don't know why my phone keeps scrolling to the bottom of my notes. It's the money, like them coming up with the plot, the plan,
Yeah.
rather. Just like, I love the little tiff between them. Like they have to have the little falling out.
And honestly,
But
that's
it does. Go ahead.
That's my that's like one of the things, like if I'm nitpicking this movie, that was like the one thing where I was like, I didn't like that.
Well,
it
I
was so
almost
brief.
feel my feeling about it is that the intention is to portray, like that, Corky. I'm sorry, I was struggling with her name.
No,
Corky is still is more aloof than like it is willing to be critical, while I feel like Corky is Violet's window to getting out.
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been most women for her, while Corky is more genuinely or authentically like into her. But yeah, I mean, I think, is it necessary? No. Was there intention in being like these one night stands between two women can go the same way as it might go with a man and a woman, or these like short sleeping together situations? I think maybe, but it does yield that quote that we talked about earlier with like not apologizing for what I did, but so maybe that's why it had to be in there, because that quote was so good.
Yeah. Can't have sizzling steak without beef.
But yeah, they make up quick and they decide, like Corky's hearing all the stuff through the walls, through the toilet, including hearing Violet sleeping with men, which kind of leads to the tiff. But they're back together now. They've gotten over all that, and they're like, Violet wants out. She needs Corky to get out. They come up with this plan to steal all the money. And that's when, to me, things go a little deeper for them. It used to just be bang buddies, and now we're like, it's almost their version of saying like, I really like you.
Yeah.
And Violet at least saying, like, I really like you, help me get out of this shit.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that the tiff part of all this is bad. It was just so quick that I was like, either I wanted a little bit more of a falling out, not necessarily a full falling out from it, but because it makes sense perfectly for their characters. Like Corky is just out of prison. She doesn't want to be messing around with a woman that's not into her in the same way that she would be into her. I don't want to waste my time. This is all a fantasy for you. This is my life for me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest beef I have with that is that it just was very quick, and then we came back and we're like, okay, let's gosh, chat's on one today. Is chat showing up on screen? It doesn't look like it is for me.
I had to open it. It wasn't there when we started, but I had to open it up on the bottom right. Yeah, so
interesting. But yeah, so I like the scene. I just wish there was a little bit more substance with it. That is probably my only issue with this movie. I think everything else is really good. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What's your next one? Other than the
plan where they come together with all that, and like they decide they're going to steal this money, and they're going to kind of put the best way to do this is to go after Caesar's paranoia. with Johnny and Johnny being a part of the family and all this stuff. Like, I think it's so, like, it's good. It seems tight, like the plan that they have going, and it seems foolproof, right? Like, there's not going to be any problems with it. So
that's another good part of the cinematography is they like kind of show that playing out the way they play as they're planning it. They show it. There it is.
There we go. I don't know what's going on with it.
Get in there, chat.
Get in there, chat. And I just want to make sure everybody saw Sir Garlet's comments that he's leaving in here. He's on one tonight. So yeah, that's the next thing I had. And then the next thing I had was the actual plan going through with Johnny and Gino and leading up to their like standoff with Johnny and Gino and Caesar facing off. Because at this point, Caesar's freaking out. He's like, there's no money in that thing. Johnny's trying to set me up. Johnny is Gino's, son, and they're all part of the family, and Caesar's just this nobody. So he's going to get killed no matter, like, he's pretty much like, I'm going to get killed no matter what happens here. So I really like the whole confrontation. It feels very much like movies we've seen before. I think of like Reservoir Dogs, the shootout at the end of Reservoir Dogs and everything. Like it brings me that with it. But I also think that like I love Caesar's descent into madness kind of in this whole thing. Like you see him freaking out and it only elevates to beyond that. And I think that I think Joe Pantoliano is doing great work in this movie.
That's another one of the shots that I loved when he opens the case and there's no money in it. It goes like handy cam almost.
Yeah.
Like underneath him. Man, I thought that was great. And especially him in that moment, man. He looks like somebody who just lost $2 million.
Somebody who lost $2 million and is going to die, like
because of it. Yeah,
because of it. Like, not only did I lose $2 million, but I am going to die because of all this. And I think it's because of this little shit heel Johnny that I don't like, that I've beefed with, that I even punched off screen. We don't even get to see that happen. And breaks his nose or whatever, Johnny's nose. So there's a lot of stuff that that is built up, and Caesar's just a ticking time bomb at that point. So that's my next scene. What do you got next?
Well, I just got kind of the ending. You got anything between that and the ending?
My next two are like Caesar figuring it out and setting up like the very ending, and then kind of like Violet taking over at the end of this movie. So those are my next two things that I had written down, but it's really just like one giant ending.
Yeah, I mean, here's where I have to be honest, is like I'm not a movie buff like my friend here, and so I'm not like, when you said, like that this movie is not noir, I don't really know what that means.
Neo-noir, yeah.
Yeah, what would be like a typical ending for a noir film? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, so if you know what noir is, you just don't know that it's called noir. So any of those times that you see like an old like detective movie or something like that, where it's like Gumshoes or whatever, and the dame walks in the door and she's like, my brother's missing, can you help me find him? And then he's like goes off and tries to solve that crime, and then maybe sometimes they'll find out that there's some little twist in there. Maybe the girl was in on it the whole time. Like those kind of movies. That's like a noir mystery.
Okay.
There's a lot of those that if you were into black and white films, I could point you in those directions pretty easily. Neo-noir is just the, bringing those to light. And we've seen a few of those on the podcast. One last year that what I watched with your brother was kind of like a futuristic neo-noir where It was Strange Days, had to do with like virtual reality and all that stuff. That's kind of a neo-noir film. So just anything kind of like that.
Okay.
Usually a detective, or usually somebody that's trying to scam somebody else, double cross them. One of the movies that I'll bring up later, I think kind of fits with the vibes of this movie, and it's an older movie. So that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Okay. This is one of those things like I had in my head. I needed to kind of research more and just didn't have time. But it is like that does help me understand for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just a lot of like crime dramas with twists and turns, and you can't trust anybody. And usually they're they're just dark.
The women, the un-noir part?
No, it's not that. The noir just means black or dark. So it's just like darker movies, crime dramas. Oh, a great example is Seven. Seven is an example of like a neo-noir film because it is very dark and gritty, and it's crime and all that stuff. So it covers it's a big genre. It covers a lot of like ground there. One of my favorite movies from this year we'll be doing in August is one of my favorite like neo-noir films, and it's kind of like a Western version of a noir. So I'm looking forward to doing that one with people and introducing them to that. Coen Brothers, No Country, that's a noir in a sense.
Okay.
So yeah. Doesn't it kind of fit with the money and like
so if there's like any kind of like crime, money, okay.
Not a lot of not a ton of happiness going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that fits the description. So it's a very broad description what I just said, but once you kind of like see what other types of movies, you're like, yeah, I get that. I understand now. So, yeah. So yeah, Caesar figuring it out. He finds out their plan. After he is killed, we didn't even say that Caesar ends up killing Gino and Johnny and everybody. But then everybody just freaking kills everybody. And then he finds out that Corky and Violet are in on this whole plan. They're the ones that have the $2 million, and he freaking goes off. And basically go like, this is where we get Bound. He knocks out Corky, ties her up. He ties up Violet, doesn't beat her like
the 10 question.
Oh yeah. He's going to chop off her fingers.
Yeah. A good callback to good old Shelley. And
just think, we got somebody. Just think Spider Noir. That tells you everything you need to know. Come on now. Get out of here. Come on now. You're not helping.
Girl is on one.
He's just on one, man. Somebody gave this guy too much Mountain Dew today. Code Red.
Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. So yeah, Caesar finds out. He does all this stuff. He tries to find where the money is. He finds out that Corky's hidden it in these paint buckets. Pouring those out. Violet gets free.
Leaves the finger choppers behind.
Oh my God. So many things that you just don't do.
Why would you leave after all that? He's done so well.
He did do pretty well.
Like under these circumstances, they're coming for you. You got like multiple groups that are coming for you because this didn't work out though. You got your bosses and then the big bosses too. Now you just got to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And, like he didn't really kill anybody till he had to. He makes the phone calls he has to. He makes a lot of preparations along the way, like the lamp in front of the bullet hole, putting the guys in the shower, pulling the shower. Man, that's a pretty good scene when the cop has to go pee.
To the bathroom, and he pees in the bathroom with the guy in the shower. Yeah. And like I love the focus on the carpet where his foot is on the carpet, squishing the blood. Like that's really good.
There's a point where he makes a phone call too, and it's like the camera traces the cord, and then it like hits another, like goes to the next shot and hits the phone, and that was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of cool shots in this movie.
Yeah. I love that. Is one of the things that I was really excited about when I was watching, because like first time watch for me as well. And so I'm like, oh, they're doing something with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
what was
really
like missing from Crash.
Yeah. I agree. This is a much better movie than Crash.
Oh man.
I'm so glad. I was so upset because I was like, oh man, like I knew like that you didn't love Crash, but I was like, I hope these movies get better because I have no idea. So when I watched this, I was like, I think he'll like this one.
It helped a lot, man. Just like me asking you about Noir, like I got no problem being a dummy when I talk to you, because those are that's the genuine nature of our conversations when we talk about movies anyway.
Yeah.
But like it did, it helped a lot last week when you told me that it's not a real thing. I think even though I work in the mental health field, that my mind just jumped to like there are people like this.
Yeah.
And so maybe I just after watching it was too honed in on that. But
you were like, I get that too, especially watching that from a 2026 lens, not to go like keep on Crash or anything, but in a 2026 lens, you're like, shit, nothing's off the table anymore. I don't feel like we got people that are, in love with their cars and marrying their car. Like that's a thing
marrying AI.
Like all this stuff out there, like people are doing everything, and that's not to, yuck anybody's yum, but like when you got stuff like this like somebody's like, I'm really into breaking all the legs in my body so that I can do it right then and there. Like that's not fun. The Mafia's not a real thing either, if that helps this week. That's great.
Better watch it.
Hey man, they don't even call it the Mafia anymore. It's just called the business.
It's just called Twitch.
It's just called Twitch. That's right. This is the Mafia. Oh my gosh. So yeah,
another point before we leave it, I have decided since last week, and my brother has taught me this since he's on one anyway, if the point was to disgust me and to make me super uncomfortable and leave that feeling within me, mission accomplished, Crash.
He does that.
So, yeah, I mean, like, not all movies can be happy feelings.
True.
And like, and not all movies can just be sad, which is what I have watched most of my life.
Yeah.
So if, in a world where people make movies like The Fly and Crash, which I don't know that a lot of people left The Fly being like, oh man, that was incredible.
Yeah.
It's more like what's incredible about it is you were like, oh, jeez, what did I just watch?
And a movie like The Fly, which is in the same like which obviously was done by Cronenberg and Crash and everything. Like The Fly has a plot, and it's like a Frankenstein plot where it's like, hey, should we even be meddling? Should we be pushing forward? And this is like man's hubris showing through, and like that's the point of it. Crash is, looking at ourselves, like putting a mirror to ourselves and discovering the disgusting things that we are as human beings. Like, and I'm not saying that we're into those. Yeah. Very Black Mirror-ish. Like
that. Yeah. Crash could be an episode, like I could see them doing a better version of a Black Mirror episode like Crash.
Yeah. I would wonder what it would be though. 'Cause it'd have to be something virtual.
Yeah.
I think about that first episode of Black Mirror that everybody skips and doesn't watch, the pig one. Yeah,
rightfully so.
Anytime I'm like, yeah, you should watch Black Mirror. Don't watch the first episode. Go back 2, and watch this. Yeah, start with season 2 or episode 2. When
there are no episodes left to watch, maybe go back to that first one. Yeah.
Going back to Abound, as I am bound and determined, that's my name, to get us there. So Caesar flips out. He ties up these women. He leaves the hedge trimmers or the clippers or whatever they are. And Corky's passed out. Yeah. The finger cutters. Yeah. Corky's passed out because she's been, hit in the head 1,000 times, and he has to go chase down Violet, leaving Corky. Corky then uses those things to get out of her restraints. But really, like, Violet takes over in this whole thing. She is calling the shots once she makes that phone call from the bathroom and is like, hey, here's what you're going to do, Caesar. You're going to say that this is such and such. You're going to say that this is, what's his face on the phone? Johnny or Gino. You're going to say this is Gino on the phone. We got in a car accident and everything. And if you play by the rules, I'll give you half of the $2 million and we'll call it quits. And from that point on, Violet is in control and like taking control of the movie. She appears like kind of helpless and needing Corky, and she is deemed as like not your typical person to be in control and like take control of a situation. And then I think this is where Jennifer Tilly like really comes out. She's great at the sexy stuff and the seduction part of this early, and then at the end of this she's just like, I've got this under control. And she manipulates Caesar. She comes up with the plan to manipulate Caesar because he has such a problem with Johnny and all that. But he, gets face to face with her at the end, and she's got the gun in her hands, and she's like, you won't do it. You won't kill me. And then puts 5 in him, drops his ass, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I meant to write down what, it's not one of the quotes I wrote down. What does she say right before she kills him?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Ah man, yeah, I don't remember, but it's good. Whatever she says in that moment.
Did I
maybe the chat remembers.
Was it
help us, Sir Garlet?
Help us. Oh, she says, Caesar, you don't know shit, right?
I think so.
I think he says, I know you won't do it. And then she shoots him. And then he says, you don't know, Caesar, you don't know shit. I'm pretty sure that's it.
That's right. Yeah.
I could be wrong. But yeah, you don't know shit, and just plugs him.
Yeah, it was a little cheese. Maybe that's why I didn't write it down.
When I was thinking of scoring this, I thought about you and like we talk about like objectively going after movies and trying to judge them on that. And I just said, like, there's nothing I would really change about this. There are some lines in the script that I would change that I think are kind of silly or they don't always fit. But for the most part, it's still a pretty solid script.
Yeah.
But anyway,
96.
Violet takes control. She ends things. They end up taking getting the $2 million, and Violet plays it off perfectly. Like that Caesar went away with the money. They hide Caesar's body and all that. Like they get rid of his body and all that stuff. And she manipulates the mob boss guy, who has always liked her. I like their little relationship.
I feel like a little too easily.
Yeah. But I think it's because he just sees her as a non-entity. Like that's how she is taken. Like she is just this thing that, does work for them. And she's sweet and innocent and is always taking care of Caesar. And I think that, she got him too.
It is considered earlier in their plan that like maybe she would be blamed if she just ran.
Yeah.
And so to me, that was the way you were a little peeved by the tiff. I was a little peeved by that.
By how easy she
one of the only reasons, like, one of the only things in this movie that I was like,
Yeah. I get it.
Like,
I get it.
I feel like they wouldn't just be like, okay, I guess she didn't take the $2 million.
Yeah. He's gone.
He's gone. Caesar. I guess we lost it.
But I wonder too, just because like Gino was like the big boss guy that got killed, if they're like, not my money.
Maybe only so many people knew about it.
That's true. Who knows?
Because it was a problem, like it was being laundered. So I feel like the people that we saw were the people that knew about it. And none of them were left. Mickey,
Mickey's the only one
and
that's
the guy that was with him
I like that guy too. He's just kind of there. He's just always there.
does a lot of like laughing and smiling.
Yes. That's what you need. In a friendship, that's what you need. You need that guy that's just quiet in the back that's going to laugh at you every once, like laugh at your jokes every once in a while. That's what you need. That's a good friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mickey does have it bad. And then Violet and Corky ride off into the sunset in their new 1996 truck.
Another one of my quotes. You want to know the difference between me and you?
What?
Between you and me?
What is it?
There's not one.
Got him. See ya. Yeah, I would assume that Mickey's the new boss, chat. From the end of this, like he's just kind of the guy that's left over, so he kind of wins in this situation too. He has a whole new like mafia to control. Who knows?
Yeah.
But any other scenes that we missed?
That's it for me.
All right. Who do you think? Who's your favorite character? Or who was a scene stealer? Who walks away with the movie?
Caesar.
Oh man, he's so good. Like it's between Caesar and Violet for me, but Caesar was who I had written down first.
I think Violet really, like you said, shows up at the end, and it is definitely like Caesar's my pick because Violet's kind of the easy, not the easy. She just does everything. I mean, she's the lead. She's the help. Like you said, she's the helpless. She has the sexiest sex scene. So yeah, Violet for sure. I would say, how about this then? For me, I would say Violet as favorite character, Caesar as scene stealer.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best. I think that's probably the most accurate. Yeah. I think you nailed it. Because like Caesar's in it, but he's not always in it. Like the point of the movie is between Corky and Violet, and that's not to take away from Corky as well. She's great and doing what she's doing, but yeah, I think Violet is probably my favorite, and then Caesar scene stealer.
She's so limited in screen time because everything's happening while she's holding the money on the other side of the wall.
Yes,
and that's the only reason that they kind of like notch ahead for me.
And Corky's is the quieter role too. Like she is just kind of reserved and guarded, and I don't necessarily want to get into trouble. I just kind of want to have sex, but
I can take a punch because I just got out of prison.
Got out of prison, so I'm a badass.
It doesn't matter how many times you kick me in the face, I'm gonna wake up.
That's cool too. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I know we've done a couple
teaches you all kinds of things, man.
Hey, don't I know it? I know we've already went over a couple of lines. Are there any additional lines that you had written down that we didn't talk about?
I've only got a couple left that we didn't talk about. Corky saying, "I'm not saying you should trust me. I'm saying you should trust yourself."
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. And then there's just Caesar. I wonder if you'll know which one I'm talking about. When there's a delivery of "you fucking bitch," that is just incredible. It made me write it down as a quote because the delivery was so good. "You fucking bitch."
He delivers some harsh lines when he's going after Corky. What else? Anything else? Did you get all yours?
That's all I got for quote. I didn't write anything down.
Of course, Caesar saying, "What did she do to you?" And Violet says, "Everything you couldn't."
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That one's gonna get you. Corky, when she goes to the lesbian bar and hits on the woman with a girlfriend, she says, "When you get tired of Cagney and Lacey, find me," because she's the girlfriend as a cop, and I think it's funny that she calls her both Cagney and Lacey, which is hilarious.
Oh, that one snuck by me.
Yeah,
good catch.
When you get tired of Cagney and Lacey, find me. And then Corky, in response, I think to getting hit or yelled at or something, just says, "Lick me."
Yeah.
Lick me.
Yeah, they're like, I think that's maybe when they got her in the finger cutters.
Oh yeah,
possibly. I agree with chat too. Before we go too far, man, Johnny was, I love a wild card, man.
I think I like
He
it.
was good.
It's basically the same character he played in Wet Hot American Summer. I'm gonna go hump a fridge. That's the kind of energy he's given. Those are my quotes of this movie because we went over some of the other good ones. Is there a laugh, cry, scare, emotionally charged moment that's the biggest of the movie that kind of made you go, whoa?
I would say probably. Oops. Sorry, my alarm that my wife's getting off work. I would say probably the laugh moment for me was the quote that I was just talking about with Caesar. That made me like just the delivery. Wet Hot as a great pairing for sure. Yeah. I would say the thrill of the movie was once the way Caesar cleaned up those bodies, threw those bodies in the shower, threw the rug over the blood. I was like, I'm kind of rooting for this guy a little bit now. That was
impressive.
He hopped in the shower and played off. That's why I wasn't answering the phone, because I was having, she was helping me relax. Smooth, man. I think the thrill of the panic Caesar was as you called the descent.
Yes,
of Caesar. Yeah, was definitely the thrill of the movie, and definitely kept me intrigued for sure.
Yeah, it made me think of American Psycho. When Caesar is chasing Violet and she is going down the stairs. It makes me think. I was like, that's pretty good. Him chasing her.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, he drops the chainsaw. Yeah. From American Psycho. That's what it made me think. I was like, oh man, if you just had a chainsaw, you could just drop it on her at the bottom. No problem. It's done. No, but I like that scene too. Him chasing her and then her outsmarting him by getting on the elevator 4 floors down and then going back up. It reminds me of a time when I used to take my roommates. I lived in a building with an elevator, and I would take my room. He was getting back from spring break, and then I took all of his stuff that he had just got up the stairs, and I put it on the elevator, and I sent it down. That was your cousin.
I don't know. I've heard those stories.
That's one of our first fights that we had.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Some fights are worth it.
Some fights are worth it and fun to talk about later. The other one I had was Johnny beating the shit out of Shelley. That was pretty much
yeah, the finger hitting the ground was definitely the scare, if there was a scare of the movie.
Any WTF moments for you? Ridiculous moments that you were?
Yeah, we already hit it, which is kind of the ending and the mob just being well, I guess she doesn't have it. Moving on.
Yeah, I kind of already discussed mine too, where I was like, it just seemed like the fight was kind of short, and then they were back and
they should be mad at each other. They said some mean shit.
They did say some. She said some mean stuff to Violet.
Don't steal anything on the way out was pretty good.
That was good.
Try not to steal anything on the way out.
Damn. Best music moment for you?
It's the non-music.
Mm-hmm.
Of the blood cleanup, the silence of him doing there was almost nothing there.
Yeah,
I thought that was really well done. Otherwise, man, just good score throughout. I didn't have no specific moments.
The score was done by Don Davis. He goes on to work with them on The Matrix. Decent score, gives us exactly what we need. I love the little needle drops that we get in this with Ray Charles, Hallelujah, I Love Her So, plays when after she just had sex with Violet. And I also love I Ain't Never Loved a Man, the Aretha Franklin song.
Is that when she's getting out of the truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. I would say, yeah, that's a man. I didn't do great about writing music, man. I always struggle with that. I'll like think of it and forget it to write it down. But
No,
yeah,
you're more of a
when she's
score
getting
guy,
out of
though.
that, when she's getting out of the pickup truck, like right after she's had sex with her, and that Aretha Franklin hits.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
good stuff.
Which is funny because like they wanted these other songs, but they couldn't afford them. But they had a Ray Charles song, they had a Aretha Franklin song. I was like, how much money did you spend on those songs? Like,
Well,
it's
you got to
crazy.
think probably with those three names at the time, they didn't blow the entire budget on casting,
No.
but probably spent a good chunk
Yeah.
on casting alone. They were all three doing all right.
I didn't do any hot takes. I also did not do an F, Marry, Kill because I thought it was too obvious. I was like, I could do Caesar, Corky, and Violet, but I'm pretty sure everybody's answer is going to be the exact same.
Yeah, probably.
Like we're probably going to kill Caesar.
Yeah.
We're probably going to marry Violet and F Corky.
Yeah.
I
That's very true.
I think that's just the way it goes.
What if it was
John
what was
the finger,
the boss?
the cutoff
if it
finger.
was Mickey, Caesar, and what was the boss that he killed?
Gino.
Gino.
Yeah.
Those three.
I marry Mickey.
Okay.
I think I F Caesar. I think I kill Gino.
I think I might marry Gino.
He's rich.
At that age.
At
but
that
with all
age,
that
I mean,
money,
you're going to be taken care of, or you'll be
get a
taken
little
care
bit and
of.
get out. I think I kill Mickey and F Caesar.
We're still F and Caesar.
Off the top.
There's
yeah,
something
off the
about
top.
that floppy hair that he's holding on to. Man, when he goes through it, his hair gets crazy. It's like starts back here. It reminds me of him in the Goonies when he has the
yeah.
the hairpiece. Oh man, just get rid of that stuff, Caesar. Just get rid of it. Finger cutter, paint buckets, drain snake. Man, the way she had a hold of that pipe, though. Who knows, guys? Who knows? That's the male gaze. Who gave the best performance?
I think Joe did.
I had Joe. I had Joe. I had Joey as well.
He gets a lot of time. He gets a lot of time to do it, and he does it well.
And like he's the only time you really don't like him is when he is, he finds out everything and then goes after him. He's a really likable character. Like you said,
yeah, you're kind of rooting for him.
Yeah, you're kind of rooting for him. And like to make me do that, you're doing something special in this role. And I think he's great in this movie. So recasting, if you could recast these lead roles in the movie, whether it was made in 96 or 2026, who would you recast?
For 90, do you have 96?
I did both of them, so you're not gonna.
For 96, I've got. Let's start with Violet. I got Madonna as Violet.
I like that's a good one. That's great.
Yeah, I think it would work.
I'm thinking like Dick Tracy, Madonna. Have you ever seen Dick Tracy?
Oh yeah,
like Madonna in that. Like that's what you made me think of immediately, and I was like, oh yeah. And then she like in that movie, she flips the script, and she's like not
it's
a
kind of purely because they look. I think I thought of her because they look alike, but I forgot about Dick Tracy. Damn.
Yeah, let's do a Dick Tracy.
What a pull!
Yeah,
oh, man, can we?
I love Dick Tracy. That movie is bonkers, but yeah, I'll watch that movie any day.
Who do you got for?
I was trying to think of for Violet in 96. I was I wanted to keep it. I wanted to try. I went to try and go with actual queer people in this role. Went with lesbian actors. Portia de Rossi as Violet. That's Ellen's one. That's Lindsay from Arrested Development.
Okay, good one.
Mhm.
I think she could be both too. I think she could do Corky, maybe.
She could,
yeah,
she could.
yeah.
The fact that Gina Gershon does Corky so well, I think, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I feel bad now because I didn't do the consideration that you did. But for Corky, I have Bridget Fonda from Jackie Brown.
Okay, I like that too because and Bridget Fonda
did Jackie Brown in '97.
Yeah,
so like this would just be the year before.
No, I think
2
that's
years
good.
Before, yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure Bridget Fonda has a similar Corky like role. I've never seen it. I think it's called Single White Female. But I'm pretty sure that's a really good one too. Mine was Jodie Foster.
Yeah, I thought Jodie as well. I also remember, I don't know how much you watched it. I don't know why I saw Lake Placid so many times. And Bridget Fonda's definitely in that movie too. I was like, I definitely know her from something else. And I just like clicked several times and I finally got to Lake Placid and was like, that's it, because I've seen that stupid movie at least 10 times.
Oh, it's Point of No Return is the movie that I keep thinking of. If you no, she's in Single White Female too. But there's the cover of Point of No Return. I don't know, it kind of gives me Corky vibes. So,
yeah. Okay, I'm seeing it.
You see that, yeah. That's a good one. So anybody else for 96? Did you do
I thought
Caesar's character?
It maybe could work, it could maybe not work, but maybe Christopher Walken for Caesar?
Oh, hell yeah. He could absolutely do that.
That'd be kind of cool to see too, like him go crazy.
Yeah.
At the end.
That would be good. That's a good age for him too, because I think he's still like spry enough. Good Christopher Walken role. King of New York. If anybody wants to see a good Christopher Walken kind of in a noir movie, King of New York. That's a good one. So,
and watch Severance if you haven't.
And watch Severance. Did you do anybody for 2026?
2026. I've got for Corky Kristen Stewart.
Okay. I mean, that's very on the that's perfect.
Yeah, say it
on the nose.
On the nose. It's on the
very
nose.
On the nose. Like, it's perfect. She's great. She would be a great Corky, and I'm sure chat will love that because Corky for 26 has to be Kristen Stewart. There he is. See, he knows. That's his lady though. He loves him some Kristen Stewart.
Oh yeah. I mean, who doesn't?
You're right. I didn't for a long time. I did not like her. For Corky, I changed it up. Okay, so with this, I have just nothing but time to think about these things. And so I was like, let me flip the script. So since then, the Wachowskis, if you know anything about the Wachowskis, that's great. If you don't know anything about the Wachowskis, that's fine too. They came out, they're trans women now. Both their sisters are trans women now. And I was like, hey, how cool would it be if they had trans characters in these roles as opposed to just lesbian characters in these roles? So I was like, Elliot Page would be a great Corky as a trans man. And then for Violet, I went with Hunter Schafer, who's a trans woman. She's from Euphoria. Cuckoo, I think, is the movie that she's in. And I was like, that would be really good. Those two is.
I've got Jodie Comer, who is in Free Guy.
Yeah,
is what I mainly know her from.
I was
thinking, yeah. So I thought she would be good as Violet, possibly. Who you got? Anybody for Caesar 2026?
This is a weird one too, because I just went off. I went with like queer actors, and I was like, we can make this a man, a gay man. So I went with Lee Pace. And then I also said Laverne Cox might be a good Caesar. She's a trans woman that I don't know. But then you're losing out on like Caesar and how much he kind of like loses his shit at the end when he finds out that his girlfriend is sleeping with another woman. So I was like, it's not as good as my other two, but you could figure it out.
I put
went a
Adam
little too-
Driver.
Ooh, yeah.
Adam Driver as Caesar.
He's a great freak out person too. If you've ever seen Marriage Story and the way that guy freaking punches that wall, yeah. Or him as Kylo Ren, just being like annoyed. So yeah, that's what I went with. All right, fun facts. Did you do any research or find anything that you found really interesting?
We mentioned my first one is that they hired an educator, an intimacy coach. So then if I skip that one, my first one would be is that Gina Gershon lived in Corky's wardrobe pre-shoot to physically inhabit the role.
It does look like those are her clothes. It looks like that it looks the part.
Yeah. She maybe like even, rolled around in the dirt a little bit.
She went to the pigsty and was like, I'm getting dirty.
Yeah.
I'm not washing these clothes.
What you got?
We went over a few of them. Like you said, the sex scenes are choreographed by the feminist writer and sex educator Susie Bright. Susie Bright's actually in the movie. She is the girl that Corky hits on in the bar. That's Susie Bright. All of the other women in the bar are Susie Bright's friends. That she was like, "Hey, can I invite all my lesbian friends over and we can do this for you?" And they're like, "Absolutely." So they're all in the bar with her. I already talked about the sex scene being filmed in one shot around their bodies, which is really cool. And the physical exchanges in the script actually caused injuries. So the guy that played Shelley, he really did sustain a head injury from his head being banged against the toilet so much. And then Gina Gershon hit her hand so hard when she knocked the gun away from Joe Pantoliano's hand that she required stitches. So people got hurt in this movie. But it was also mainly their own faults. So there wasn't any, yeah. And the other thing is the influences behind this film are important only because of one of my pairings goes with it. The director from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, Billy Wilder, has done a lot of like noir films. So he was a huge influence on the Wachowskis. And then Sin City, Frank Miller's comic book series that we end up, getting made into a movie. That's a big influence on the Wachowskis as well. So thought that was pretty interesting.
The only other one I've got is that apparently some film schools still teach Bound as an example of near perfect narrative efficiency.
This movie is tight. And we'll talk.
When I read that, I was like, I don't think they shouldn't.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because we're going to do Fargo this year. And I think Fargo also goes into that. Like, that is a perfect film. Like, that script is perfect. Like,
I wonder if I guess we'll find out when we get there. I wonder if budget has anything to do with that. Like, if you have to do it on the tight budget, every shot, every line has to matter. So makes sense.
Makes sense. And it's under 2 hours. I love it under 2 hours.
All these Oscar movies every single one of them is 3 hours.
I haven't watched one battle after another for that very reason. I'm like, God, when do I have 3 hours to put towards this? So yeah, that's part of the reason. I've been watching the short films because they're
get them in, baby.
Get them in. Get those suckers in there. All right. Like a Fine Wine and Dish, if you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
Uncut Gems.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one. It's very tense.
Yeah, Uncut Gems. And even though it's not like my favorite movie, I watched Carol,
Mm.
and I feel like it would be a pretty good pairing for this. The Handmaiden.
Yes. Everybody, go
Uh,
watch The Handmaiden tonight.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Nice. I also had The Handmaiden listed as one of mine. So the Billy Wilder movie, this is an older movie, so if you're not a fan of old movies, you won't like this, but it's called Double Indemnity. It is kind of I kept thinking of it the entire time. It's about this man who is essentially trying to get money off of a life insurance policy, and he hooks up with this femme fatale, this woman who is going to like run away with him, and they're going to be rich together, but she's playing him the whole time. And so it kind of fits into this whole like paranoia of who should I trust? Who do I not trust? It's really good. Wild Things. Wild Things.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's got sex. It's got twists. There's girls kissing girls. There's boys kissing girls. There's boys that should be kissing boys. That's a good one.
Basic Instinct as well.
Yeah, Basic Instinct would go right up there. That's
now that you've said the Wild Things, yeah,
that's a good one.
Instinct goes in there as well.
Definitely. This one's for Joe and chat. Love Lies Bleeding, which is the Kristen Stewart movie. That is a kind of a very similar tale in this. It's probably Love Lies Bleeding is probably the 30-year version of Bound, I would say. Like, it is almost pound for pound. This is what our generation's Bound is Love Lies Bleeding. And I know he was a big fan of that movie. He loves Kristen Stewart. So that's when you said Kristen Stewart, I was like, yeah, Love Lies Bleeding. Perfect. But she's kind of the I don't know if she's the Corky in that movie or if she's the Violet. I don't know. And then in The Handmaiden was the other one that I had listed. So good choices out there. A lot of good ones that we came up with. That's good. The PED version of it. Yeah. Performance enhancing drugs version of Bound. Well, that was good. Oh yeah. We're not done yet. We got to do our ratings. I was like, my notes are gone. On a scale of 1 to 5.
Mulholland Drive.
Ooh, yeah. I should have put Mulholland. I have the VHS. I should have had that playing in the background. Damn it. That's a good one. Blue Velvet, yes. Blue Velvet works. Blue Velvet's fucking weird though.
Yeah, now that you said a few, it's making me think of other things. So
it's good.
But yeah, ratings. What you got over there?
Yeah, rewatchability. What out of 1 to 5? What do you got?
Man, I've gone back and forth because I would say it's not my initial like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a 3.5. I don't know that it's all the way a 4. I think a 3.5 for me.
Yeah. I like that because as we've been sitting here talking about it, and that typically is how, like, when we talk about scenes and stuff, that scene when Caesar's putting all the stuff away, or he's freaking out trying to figure out how he's going to deal this with John. Like, I would watch that scene again right now, just to see him freak out, and then see like Violet at the end. Like, there are scenes in this movie that I would rewatch over and over. So yeah, I think 3.5 is a good one because I had it at 3 when I initially wrote it, but I think 3.5 is solid. Yeah,
same. And which is, I'm glad the next thing is overall rating.
Yeah,
because that also was a 3.5, and I've kind of swung more to a 4.
Yeah,
because if you're being objective, your overall rating and rewatchability is not based on are you going to rewatch it? It's would you rewatch it?
Right.
For me. And so that's more objective, which is, to me, the overall rating. I would walk through this movie with anybody and say, where's the bad acting? Who's the worst actor?
Yeah.
Tell me who the worst actor is. So if you can't just like off rip be like, that was really bad, Got to give it some credit.
Yeah.
Even with the small cast. Like you said, even the guy that's hanging with Mickey at the end is solid.
Yeah. I even love the cops, the 2 cop guys that come in. Like,
yeah,
I think they're good.
The writing, we have already talked about how tight the writing is.
Yep.
The cinematographies, we've talked about the scenes we love. So, like, even if you don't like the movie, you objectively have to give it credit because, and then the music, we said the score is like, you got to give the score at least a 3. Like you said it perfectly, is what the movie needed. Mm-hmm. Is it blowing my mind? No.
Yeah, I'm not going to be humming it. It's not, Jaws. It's not anything like that, but it built the tension when it needed to. It took it out. It was
silent when it needed to be.
It was silent when it needed to be. Like, it's really good. And I'm with you on
overall impact. Sexiest sex scene of the 52 times.
Yeah, and like I think of I think credit. Overall impact is one. Like, I even went at this because when I see it, most of the time I just give you a score, like out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah, that's a 4-star movie. That's a 5-star movie, whatever. I actually went in, I have my own little objective thing, kind of like you did. And I was like, I'm going to think about this and I'm going to put it in, and kind of exactly all those things that you're saying are how I graded my movie. And like, I think the weakest thing I gave the movie was a little bit of like dialogue, but it was still pretty strong. There were like a couple lines that I was like, yeah, that's cheesy or that's dumb. But for the most part, like the writing is so tight and the story works so well. Like everybody's just acting really well. I can't grade it much less than a 4. It's a 4. It was actually above a 4 for me, but not enough for a 4 or 5. So,
and with Joseph say the 5-star rewatchability, I'm like, no argument.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe argument. I should take out the rewatchable thing and just say, is this rewatchable? Would you watch this again? And 100%. It's just like a yes or no. Yes. I would 100% watch this again.
I like that. That because a lot of times rewatchability and overall are pretty that's honestly a lot of times when I'm doing this, I try to make them different. So they're not the same.
Yeah. But now I do think that there are movies out there that are terrible movies that the rewatchability is so much. Like I'll watch Zombievers again right now.
You'd watch Junior right now.
I would watch Junior if I had the right person watching.
We got to keep that coming back. We got to keep
Junior is the thing that
Junior is terrible. Coming back. Love you.
Junior's perfect. He was not. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go back into Junior. Not my.
Go back into Crash though.
I think if you combine Junior and Crash Junior, now that's a movie I'd watch.
No, I'm in.
Yeah, so I give it a 4 overall. So I think we're right on line.
I think I give it a 4 overall. The only thing that makes this movie not a 5-star movie is just I don't like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't the same thing with the rewatchability. I'm not going to run back to watch it again. But if somebody was like, hey, we're going to watch this, I'd watch it.
Yeah, I agree. The 5-star movies, whenever I think about them, there is something that left me holy crap, that was something. I need to watch that again. Or
something can be 4s across the board, and the missing piece is so critical. And it's usually a me thing. But those 5 out of 5 have to be reserved for what you just did. Holy crap. The cinematography in F1.
Yeah.
I was just geez, the hours.
And the things that
millions of dollars.
And we talk about this all the time. The things that are emotionally impactful for you might not resonate in the same way. And I always bring up the score. I'm just putting out the score here of Challengers, and where I was emotional, that brought me into it and was just a part of the whole experience. And I was like, holy cow. And you were like, no, That was not it for me.
Shit is
That
too
took me
loud.
out of a lot of it.
Too
And,
loud.
yeah, it's just too you're just too
That
damn
was
loud.
it. It wasn't that the score was bad. The shit was too loud.
It's just too loud. But seriously, that's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
and so, you know, two different things that you get from the same movie. Not everybody's going to connect with it, but when we do connect, it's kind of nice. When we're like, yeah, Bound was this movie. It is a 4-star movie that I enjoyed the hell out of, and we both got it there. So
Yeah, I think the only people who wouldn't like this movie are like some bigots. Like, oh, them
Maybe-
ladies are kissing. I don't like this movie. Like, otherwise, man, it's pretty fun
yeah,
and very sexy.
I was very happy after we watched it. I was like, this is a good one. This one's going to stick with me till the end of the year. I feel
Yeah.
it. Like, this one's going to be brought up again. So
Solid.
I'm glad. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for doing this again. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sticking with me through the I'll Have What She's Having month after we started off so rough with Crash. But before we wrap up, is there one movie recommendation that you would like to recommend to people?
Yeah, I don't. It's hard for me to remember what I recommended last week,
What did you recommend last week?
but I felt like it was appropriate, even if I did mention it last week, that Twinless.
Oh yeah.
Because it falls. I almost put it as a pairing, but I was like, I'll save it for my recommendation if I didn't already mention it. But you and I recently we were talking about Moonlight, and like we were having a conversation recently about just the best kind of LGBTQ community focused queer movies that we love, and what the best one is that we've ever seen, and which is why. And Twinless, man, I think it really falls into that category of very centered around twins who have lost their twins, but also very focused on the LGBTQ community. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think last week was my F1 recommendation.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
You might have mentioned Twinless to me in a separate conversation because I do
We
remember.
just talk movies so much, you know.
We
It's
just
hard
talk
to
about
keep
movies
track.
all the time, and it's easy to do. So, my recommendation: we have seen this movie. You have seen this movie. I have seen this. Mitchell's versus the Machines. Well, I rewatched that recently because I wanted to show Alyssa, because I was like, Alyssa, you'll love this movie. Animated movie. It's on Netflix. It's fun. It's done by Sony, and they did, the Spider-Man movies, the animated Spider-Man movies. So good. That movie's awesome. And it's for all people that love movies out there.
Man, side note, this kid came into my office the other day. I was like, do you want me to play music? And he was like, yeah, can you play the Spider-Man music? First grader.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, I don't know the Spider-Man music. I immediately was like, vindicated. But that's not what he was talking
no,
about.
he's a different Spider-Man. He's talking
So
like
he was like the Disney animated Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
I like pull it up on Spotify. Patrick Stump did the whole thing.
oh,
So we
I
just
didn't
listened
know
to
that.
Fall Out Boy for 30 minutes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I recommend listening to the animated Disney Spider-Man soundtrack by Patrick
Perfect.
Stump.
Oh my god, is that Spidey and Friends? Is that what it is? Or
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're little.
yeah, the
They're
little
little
guy,
bitty.
Spidey and
Yeah.
Friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cute. That's super cute.
It was
Well,
so,
if you-
it was so perfect. Like first grader and Steven's world collide.
Combined. Oh my gosh, that's good. Well, if you want to keep the conversation going, you want to talk about movies that you've been watching, join our Discord. You can follow us on Instagram to find out when we're going to be doing these. Or you can check out my letterbox to see what I've been watching lately, and you might find some of my friends doing their own ratings along the way. We're going to continue our theme of I'll Have What She's Having, which we're going to be doing Striptease next week. So that's going to be, I've never seen it. I know it. I remember Striptease coming out in '96 and like it being a big deal. Cause Demi's just going hard in that movie. So I look forward to
What I
this.
do remember about seeing it as a young person was like I had seen Showgirls And it was like, yes. And then I watched Striptease and was like, bummer.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Not Showgirls. I thought they were going to be basically the same movie.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not at all.
Man, it's been I bet I was like 12 years old the last time I saw that movie. So can't wait.
Hell yeah. And we'll be doing that next Sunday. We're back on schedule next Sunday. And we'll do that at 5 p.m. Get you your post Valentine's Day stream going. So make sure and take care of your loved ones, or if you don't have any loved ones, then just take care of yourself. Treat yourself, treat yourself. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on 52/1996. Goodbye.
We spun the reel through desert storms and courtroom cries. Love letters burned, planes went down, truth hid behind the lies. From snowbound crimes in Fargo streets to agents running wires, we laughed with Gilmore, screamed in masks lit, theaters on fire. It's 52/1996, let the credits roll tonight. Good movies, bad movies, all of them in the same rewind. 1 year, 1 week, every frame gets its time to shine. We'll see you next story on 52/1996.